We're gonna come into a bridge position and you're gonna start lifting your hips up and down, just like Emma. I'm gonna be teaching her today. I'm Claire, for those who haven't met me, and Emma is going to demonstrate.
Hello.
Today, we're doing a 20-minute lower body class with some dumbbells, which we'll be using in a little bit. Lots of glutes, lots of hammies. Your legs are gonna feel nice and wobbly by the end of class. And if you don't have them already, grab a pair of heavier and a pair of lighter dumbbells so that you have options. Emma's using 11 pounds for her heavier dumbbells, although she's gonna stack them in a few exercises to make them a little bit heavier. And she's using 5.5 for her lighter dumbbells. All right, speaking of dumbbells, we're gonna grab our heavier dumbbell and you're gonna place it onto your hip. If you want a little bit more, if you have lighter dumbbells, you can put one in each hip to create more weight, or you can always do that a little bit later if you feel like you need to. And then just rest your hands on the dumbbells, and we're gonna do that exact same hinge up and down, but with the dumbbells. So careful not to hyperextend at the top. So as we move today, we're also chatting about one of my favorite things ever, which is the TV show, The Great British Bake Off. As it was just announced that Prue, my absolute favorite, actually no, Paul's my favorite, but she's leaving. And I know that Miss Emma over here is a recent convert.
Yes. I used to really not like Great British Bake Off, but I've been watching it a lot more recently, and I love it.
What did you not like and what do you like now?
Well, I used to dislike it before I ever watched it because
For
my
10?
husband used it as his sad show. So like he loves it, and anytime I would see him watching it, I knew he was sad. And so I just like kind of Pavloved myself into like associating it with sad times.
For 7?
Without ever actually giving it a shot.
For 6, I like to watch it when I'm happy already. For 5? Okay, so he wasn't actually sad.
No, he was.
So then what converted you? For 4?
He would use it to make himself happy.
For 3?
I just tried it. I had never watched it before.
For 2? Okay, last one, you're gonna meet me up into your bridge and you're gonna hold. So now that we're nice and warm through the back of the legs, you're gonna go ahead and kick your left leg up into a high diagonal. Yep, exactly. And then you're gonna put the foot down and then you're gonna go to the other side. And we're gonna keep going, keep alternating. Make sure the butt doesn't lift and lower. So try to keep your butt in the same position. It is lifted off the floor. If you want a little bit less, just lower it. And we're gonna keep going.
I'm trying to ground through the heel of the foot that's staying on the ground so that I can really engage through the glute and hamstring. And that's also helping me from letting the low back take over.
Yeah, for 9. So you should start feeling one glute at a time. But if you are feeling your low back, you can also just like lower the butt down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And if you need a little bit more support, you can press the upper arm into the floor instead of having them hovered. All right, for 7, try to avoid a ton of wobbling through the hips. Okay. For 5, is she feeling the back of the legs? Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not getting like much emotion from you in this current moment. For 3.
I'm focusing on not toppling over.
All right, for 2. Okay, last one, you're gonna hold the left leg long. You can either hold it there and just not move, or if you want a little bit more, you can pulse the butt up and down. You can also bend the knee if it's too much on your quad. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, abs in still. For 5, 4, 3, good, 2, One more, and then put the foot down, kick the right leg long, and you're gonna hold it there. And then you can either stay here or pulse the hips up and down. Try to lift the hips so that they're nice and even for 8, 7, 6. You can always bend the knee if you need to for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Put the foot on the floor, come all the way down. Okay, we're gonna do that exact same series, but now way more hammy than glute. You're still gonna feel your glutes though. So stay lying down, keep the weights where they are, but just send your feet further forward so that your feet are way past your knees, and then lift your toes up to the ceiling so that you're just on your heels. Same thing, we're gonna lift our butt up and down. It's exact same series, but now with the feet in a different position. So you're immediately gonna feel more hamstring.
Honey baked ham with the orange brown sugar glaze. Now this one for my folks that don't like turkey on Thanksgiving.
This is essentially a hamstring curl, but like upside down.
Exactly.
Trying to pull your heels towards your butt.
I think my favorite thing about the bake-off is obviously Noel, who I strive to be, but I will never be because I'm just not as witty and don't have that humor, unfortunately. And I mean, it's the epitome of British banter.
You're quite good with meringue though, aren't you? My wife's made of meringue. Well, she was. She's just an eggy liquid in the bottom of a pan now.
Yeah.
They don't take things personally. Like, imagine getting absolutely roasted by Paul. Or like, imagine you came home and made a dinner for like your friends and they just absolutely shat on it. And you were like, okay, it's fine. And just like have such thick skin. For 6.
I think my favorite thing about the show is learning about everyone's jobs. Because
4.
they always have the most ridiculous and obscure jobs.
For 3, like what?
Like,
For 2?
Jane is a toy train conductor in the countryside. Or like,
Oh, yeah, that's so true. Okay, hold your butt lifted and you're gonna hold. All right, we're gonna kick the left leg long up to a high diagonal and then put the heel back down and then other side. So careful as you put the heels down that your feet don't creep closer to your butt. Keep them out there. And remember, you can always lower the butt a little bit if this is too challenging.
this is immediately way harder on the hamstrings than the last version of this.
Agreed.
So I'm trying, every time I put the foot back down to the ground, I'm kind of using it as an opportunity to re-engage my core.
For 6.
As I switch side to side.
It's really hard not to wobble through the hips, right? For 5.
Yes.
I know. For 4, but the glutes are big boys, so for 3, you really use them to find that stability. All right, for 2, okay. Hold the right leg long on the next one. Hold, you can either stay here or if you want more, pulse the butt up and down. This is gonna be way harder now. For 10, you can always bend the knee. For 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I'm slowing my count because she's slowing down. For 3, 2, last one. Put the heel back down, other side. Extend your left leg long. I'm sorry, you wanted low body. All right, little pulses up and down. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm sorry, guys, she's torturing you by going so slow. For 4, 3, she's achieving failure. 2, last one. Come all the way down.
Oh my
Hell yeah, that was so hard. Okay, put the weights down onto the floor for a second and bring your knees to your chest and just rock yourself a tad side to side. Okay, we're gonna come up to stand when you're ready. So come all the way up to stand and grab one of your weights. Ideally, grab something around 15 to 20 pounds. Anything lighter, you're not gonna feel much. All right, just one of your weights. Okay, grab the weight into your right hand. Feet are a little bit wider than your hips parallel. Left hand is gonna go onto your hip. All right, we're gonna come down to a squat, but super low. And as you squat, I want you to twist the body so that the weight is gonna tap the floor in front of the left foot. So look at Emma if you're confused. And then come all the way up to where you came from. So as you twist, I want Emma now to show a bad one. I don't want you to round through the back. So nothing like, no like turtle moment. If that's happening, you're coming too low in the sense that you just like don't have that strength yet. So just don't tap the weight down to the floor and stop a little bit sooner so that you can keep the spine in neutral.
I'm also focusing on sending my hips directly back in space. So as I'm twisting, I'm not letting myself kind of fall over this way. I'm trying to go evenly back and twisting at the same time.
Very good point, because the point of this exercise is feeling a ton of your left glute. So your left side glute especially is stabilizing you. So if you do the bad thing that Emma just showed you, your left side glute is not really stabilizing. So you're not gonna get like super deep in that. So keep your knees on top of your ankles. That's how you're gonna know you're like doing it right. I think they also just have so much grace, all of the participants.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I could take the criticism.
I think they're all just so like joyful to be there.
Yeah. You know they don't stay there. Like they go home.
They go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they stayed there. And they just commute there every weekend.
Well, they have to have time to test their bakes.
This is true. And they have obscure jobs that they need to go to. Okay. For 5. Nice. And then we're going to start adding on.
Oh.
In 4. Okay. Do you feel a little bit more of your left glute than you do your right?
A lot more.
Yeah.
Yes.
For 3, I did this yesterday after I planned it. And I was shocked how much more left glute I was feeling. All right. For 2. Remember, you can always reduce the coming down all the way if it's too much. Okay, you're gonna give me 1 more, and then you're gonna meet me standing for a second, and you're gonna hold. Okay, now we're gonna come into a curtsy lunge. So your right leg is gonna go behind your left leg, bend the knees, hinge forward, and then you're gonna come back into that squat position as you twist. So we're alternating between the squat twist and the curtsy. So very important as you curtsy, you wanna keep that front knee on top of the front ankle. So you don't need to send the right leg like super to the left. Like you can always make the legs a little bit closer, like reduce the twist. I feel like I'm explaining this terribly, but you get the gist. Like you don't want to like create too much of a twist.
Doesn't need to be at like a cross so much as like a little bit behind you.
Thank you. There she goes. Way simpler.
That's what I'm here for.
Handshake, virtually. Paul Hollywood. Okay. So now your curtsy is going to load your left side glute and the back of your left leg a ton. So even more. So now that we're alternating, we're adding more load. Okay, we have 5. So 1 count is 1 of the whole shabam. Sometimes when I teach, I kind of lose my words. Does that happen to you?
Yes, of course.
For 4?
Go into La La Land a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like thinking cakes, but looking at curtsies. Okay.
Whew, this is
I know.
a lot of left glute.
I know.
Wow.
For 3, really careful you don't round through the back in the little twisty twist. Okay. Nice. Be aware of the front knee in your curtsy. All right. For 2. Yeah. Okay. You're going to give me 1 more of the whole thing. So a little twisty twist. Yep. And then 1 more curtsy. And meet me in your curtsy when you're there. So take your time together, hold. Make sure you're a little bit hinged. You're gonna row the right arm, so keep the arm close to the body, and then you're gonna unrow. And you're gonna keep going. Ooh. Nice, I know. Okay, so isometric hold through the front leg for 7. Nice, press all the weight into your front heel.
Trying to stay
6.
open through the chest also as I'm getting like tired with the weight, not to fall forward.
For 4, thank you for saying that. It's very important. For 3. Good. All right, for 2. Okay, give me 1 more row. Hold the arm straight and just hold your curtsy. If you want, you can pulse up and down. If not, just hold. For 10, 9, 8, abs in still. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely wobbly by the end.
Yeah, I told you, wobbly legs.
Grey wobbly fork. What's that?
I mean, they're hard to eat with,
That's
but
for waving at the Queen. What is that for?
it's a pastry brush.
It's a strawberry caresser.
Okay, We're gonna take a break from our standing work. So come into a high kneel position, put the weight on the floor for a second while you come into your high kneel. And then once you're there, grab onto your heavy weight and hold it like a goblet. Okay, so goblet, so flip it. Yeah, okay. We're gonna lean back without arching through the back. So look at Emma, she's not leaning back a ton, but look at how straight her back is. That's exactly what you want. Can you show a bad one without hurting yourself, please, where you're doing this wrong? Yeah, see that? This little dolphin? No. Go back to how you were. And if it's uncomfortable to have flat feet, like Emma, you can always tuck the toes. Okay.
This
and
might
if you
feel, a little more supportive.
Yeah, especially for people who get foot cramps.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, if you'd rather not hold the weight goblet and you'd rather hold it horizontal, you can. Okay. Just the goblet's going to be just a little nicer for you. Okay. We're going to start to add on the next one. So next time you lean back, you're going to send the weight forward just about 2 to 3 inches. Teeny, 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 tiny. And then bring the weight back to your chest as you come back. And we're going to keep going. You're going to feel your quads a ton.
Yeah, I'm trying to find length through the front of the legs and also through the neck. So like kind of similar to what I was saying before about not wanting to go here. You also don't want to cramp down as you come into your lean.
It might be smaller now, your lean, now that you're adding the press forward of the weight. Okay. Let's take 6 more. So the press forward is going to add a bit of load to your core and also your shoulders and your quads. It's going to make it harder. All right, for 3, and then we just have a hold, and then you're done with this very horrible exercise.
Ooh.
All right, for 2.
Yeah, this is rough.
I'm sorry. You have to work the quads. Okay, meet me down there. Hold your lead. You can either hold the weight forward, or if that's too much, bring it to your chest and just hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back. Hell yeah.
Oh,
I know. I'm
worst.
sorry. Okay, come all the way up to stand.
But the worst.
Yeah. Come all the way up to stand, and then once you're up there, you're going to grab one weight into your left hand, and the other hand is going to go onto your hip. Feet are parallel, a little bit wider than your hips. All right, we're going to do the twisty twist squat. So as you squat, you're going to rotate towards the right. So the weight is going to tap in front of your right foot. Yep, on the floor. If it's too much to tap the floor, then don't go as far down. The most important thing is not rounding through the back. So if you are rounding as you are reaching the weight down towards the floor, do not go as low. Or just try to not round and see where you go. Okay.
Yeah, my hamstrings are super tight, so I can't make it all the way down without rounding. So I have to stop about like here.
Yep.
And that's okay.
That's totally fine. And remember, don't let the knees sway over to the right. Who do you prefer, Paul or Prue? And why? I want the why.
I think I prefer Paul.
Why? For 5?
He's just, I mean, both of them are pretty sassy.
Prue's not sassy.
She can be a little bit sassy. It's actually, I guess it's like, it's more like special when she's sassy.
Yeah, but she's too nice. For 3?
I just like when Paul breaks his like serious character.
Paul is so...
That he's all business.
I know. For 2, I love it when he releases his soft side.
He's like a crusty bat, but when you break him open,
Yeah.
he's all soft inside.
He's also just so hot for an older man. He's like George Clooney vibes. Okay, you're gonna give me one more twisty twist. Okay, and then meet me standing for a sec. Okay, now we're gonna come into the curtsy. So your left leg is gonna cross behind the right leg. Bend the knees, hinge forward as you curtsy. Yes. And then come back to standing, and then twisty twist squat.
This is also a ton of core with all this weighted twisting.
I know. Your
But
glutes,
obviously,
too.
mostly,
Your
yeah.
glutes. Yeah, we always think about it as like primary muscles and secondary muscles. For 5. Okay, remember in your curtsy, if you're getting like a little twinge in your back, just don't make the cross as big. Like bring the left leg a little bit closer to the right leg. Okay, for 4.
I'm really into this series. We've never done this combo before.
It's good, huh? Mm-hmm. Can you handshake me? Thanks. All right, for 3.
Whew.
Nice. Keep breathing. Careful the front knee as you curtsy. All right, for 2. Okay, we're so close. We just have the row and then the hold, and then we get to stretch. Okay, you're gonna give me one more twisty twist, and then when you're in your curtsy, you're gonna hold the curtsy. Okay, hold the hinge, row the arm. So you're trying to stay super stable through the legs, and then unrow. Good. For 7. Nice. Remember what Emma said about the neck and the back, don't round. For 5. Nice.
Thanks for the reminder.
For 4, keep all the weight into your front heel. You're so welcome. For 3.
Whew.
For 2. Okay. One more. Hold the arm straight. Just either hold or pulse up and down. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. She's released. Okay, put the weight down. Let's give ourselves a little stretch. So come to sit onto your butt with your hands behind you. Your legs are bent and your feet are on the floor. And then once you're here, cross your left ankle across your right knee so we can stretch out the glute and the hammies. Okay, and then flex the front foot. If you want more, bring your hands closer to your butt. If you want less, send your hands further back. Yeah, and just stay here for a second. Although I will say, did you watch the most recent season with Jasmine?
Remind me which one that is. I don't think so.
Oh, because she was kind of annoying. Sometimes they do annoy me a little bit. Like when they cross into being too wholesome.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna switch.
That's just
other side.
that's just the New York in you.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I like just like the nerdier ones. I mean, I guess they're all very nerdy.
Yeah.
But I really gravitate to the ones who are very detail oriented. Like a showstopper
Yes,
has to
same.
be
Same.
a piece of art.
Meticulous.
Yeah, it has to be so meticulous. I want your piping to be perfect. Okay, you're all done. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Okay,
Handshake.
bye. Mwah.